Dairy-free diets have become increasingly popular among young adults for reasons ranging from lactose intolerance and ethical concerns to personal health preferences and environmental considerations. While eliminating dairy products can offer benefits, such as reduced saturated fat intake, improved digestive comfort for lactose-sensitive individuals, and alignment with plant-based lifestyles, emerging research indicates that strict avoidance of dairy may influence bone density and long-term skeletal health if not carefully managed. Understanding how calcium absorption, vitamin D interactions, and other nutritional factors play into bone maintenance provides both a cautionary perspective and a framework for optimizing bone health within dairy-free diets. Calcium is the primary mineral responsible for bone mineralization, strength, and overall skeletal integrity. Dairy products are traditionally considered one of the richest and most bioavailable sources of calcium, containing high concentrations of calcium combined with lactose, which can enhance absorption. In dairy-free diets, calcium intake must be obtained from alternative sources such as fortified plant-based milks, leafy greens, tofu, almonds, sesame seeds, and certain legumes. Research shows that while plant-based sources can provide adequate calcium, bioavailability varies depending on the specific food and its composition. For instance, oxalates and phytates in some leafy greens and grains can bind calcium and slightly reduce absorption, meaning that careful selection and variety are important for maintaining optimal calcium status in young adults during the critical years of bone development and peak bone mass accumulation. Vitamin D is another key player in bone health, facilitating the intestinal absorption of calcium and regulating bone remodeling processes. In dairy-free diets, vitamin D intake can be compromised if fortified dairy alternatives or supplements are not incorporated. Studies indicate that suboptimal vitamin D status can lead to decreased calcium absorption efficiency, potentially affecting bone mineral density over time. However, this challenge is not insurmountable. Many plant-based milks, cereals, and nutritional supplements are fortified with vitamin D, and moderate sun exposure can further support endogenous production. When calcium and vitamin D intakes are carefully balanced, dairy-free diets can fully support skeletal development and maintenance, demonstrating that nutrient adequacy, rather than the mere presence of dairy, is the primary determinant of long-term bone health. Emerging evidence also highlights the importance of dietary patterns and complementary nutrients in supporting bone density. Protein, magnesium, vitamin K, and phosphorus all contribute to skeletal strength and are often abundant in well-planned dairy-free diets. Legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and dark leafy vegetables provide these nutrients in forms that support bone metabolism and collagen formation. Moreover, the inclusion of plant-based foods rich in phytonutrients, such as flavonoids and carotenoids, may exert additional positive effects on bone by modulating inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which can influence bone remodeling. In this sense, a dairy-free diet, when thoughtfully composed, can offer multiple pathways to support bone integrity beyond calcium alone. Physical activity, particularly weight-bearing exercise, further complements dietary efforts to maintain bone health. Young adults following dairy-free diets can strengthen bone mass and density through resistance training, running, jumping, or other impact exercises. These mechanical stimuli enhance osteoblast activity and encourage the deposition of mineralized bone tissue, creating a synergistic effect when combined with adequate calcium and vitamin D intake. In other words, bone health is not solely dependent on dairy consumption. A holistic approach that integrates nutrition, physical activity, and lifestyle factors provides a robust foundation for lifelong skeletal strength. Longitudinal studies provide an encouraging perspective for dairy-free young adults. While some research suggests that exclusive avoidance of dairy can be associated with slightly lower bone mineral density compared with dairy consumers, most differences are modest and largely mitigated when calcium and vitamin D needs are met through alternative sources. In fact, many young adults following plant-forward diets achieve recommended nutrient intakes by incorporating fortified foods and supplements, suggesting that proactive planning enables dairy-free diets to support bone density comparable to omnivorous diets. This highlights an important positive takeaway. Dairy-free eating does not inherently compromise skeletal health, but requires awareness and intentionality to ensure nutrient adequacy. Another advantage of dairy-free diets is the reduced intake of saturated fats and potentially inflammatory compounds found in some dairy products, which may indirectly benefit overall metabolic health. Maintaining a healthy body weight, supporting vascular function, and reducing chronic low-grade inflammation all contribute to an internal environment that favors bone remodeling and mineralization. In combination with nutrient-dense plant foods, these systemic benefits reinforce skeletal resilience, illustrating that dairy-free diets can support overall health while protecting bones, provided that strategic nutritional planning is in place. Overall, the emerging evidence emphasizes that dairy-free diets can be fully compatible with strong bone health in young adults when key nutrients are addressed. By focusing on bioavailable calcium sources, ensuring adequate vitamin D, incorporating complementary minerals and protein, and engaging in weight-bearing exercise, individuals can build and maintain optimal bone density throughout young adulthood and beyond. Rather than viewing dairy elimination as a limitation, it can be reframed as an opportunity to adopt a nutrient-conscious approach, diversify sources of essential minerals, and integrate lifestyle practices that collectively strengthen skeletal integrity. With thoughtful planning, dairy-free diets not only support bone health, but also offer broader benefits for metabolic, cardiovascular, and digestive wellness, demonstrating that this dietary choice can be both safe and highly health-promoting over the long term.